threatened to sue me. Go for it. I have a 5-year-old daughter with my ex-wife. We broke up about 2.5 years ago. We had some ups and downs during our marriage. We never argued or fought per se, but we did negotiate a lot with strong emotions and opinions. Yet, we always managed to find some common ground to stand on together. That's why it kinda caught me by surprise when she told me she wanted a divorce. I cried for a couple days, went fishing and then started planning on how to figure things out. Because neither of us had enough income at that point to keep our car and our house, we agreed that I should take care of selling the car and she would get a realtor to start selling our home. Well, turns out I had to do both. Anyway, we had more debt than money, and she tried to leave all the debt to me while she would start from a clean slate. I wouldn't let her, and I made sure everything we owned and every bit of debt would be split evenly. We agreed that our daughter would live with both of us, splitting the time evenly as our daughter had the right to having 2 parents. We promised each other to act civil. This didn't last long. We also had agreed that since our salaries were pretty even, neither of us would pay child support. We also agreed that she would take care of buying most of the clothes etc. for our kid, since she would get the child benefit, about €100 per month here in Finland paid by the government to support raising offspring. After the breakup, she started mail ordering new furniture for herself, even before she had found a new apartment for herself, kinda obvious, but she really didn't have the money for it either. 2 weeks later, she moved out. A week later, I heard from our kid that she had a new man. I didn't really care, just raised some eyebrows. She would often call in sick to her work, usually BS reasons, and when her boss gave some feedback, she didn't fix her attitude but instead she just quit. She applied to a school and got in. After about 2 months, she quit the school too and started demanding me to pay child support. We got a professional to weigh in, and agreed that I still wouldn't pay a dime to her, because she herself had caused her income to collapse. As a goodwill act, I offered to pay for our daughter's insurance. I thought the matter was settled, but then she got pregnant for her new man a few months after our breakup. After our divorce was final, there is a 6 months reconsideration time before the judge calls it, she married her new man. These things empowered her into demanding money again and again and again. So now that you know what kind of person we're dealing with. Last fall she yet again demanded money to support our kid. She was working again, and I knew she used our kid as an excuse, because she had expressed envy towards my ability to control my finances to a point that even when I had the same amount money, I could eat in restaurants etc. I told her that if she needed child support for legitimate reasons, I would of course help, but all the expenses would have to be calculated properly to know the right amount she would need. Instead she demanded I would pay her €200 per month and she would take care of all the expenses regarding our daughter. She didn't have any real reasons for the demand, other than her need for control. She had always been someone who wanted to have the last say in things. On top of her demand, this time she threatened to sue me if I didn't pay her. I pretty much laughed at it, until I got a message from her lawyer. At that point I messaged my ex telling her from now on I would only discuss this matter via our lawyers and started looking for a lawyer myself. During the next couple months things started to look really bad for her case. After getting the papers from the court, I noticed her case was based on false data. She, and her lawyer, hadn't asked for my income and expenses before they sued me, and she had estimated my income to be a lot more than it actually was. Also my expenses were estimated to be smaller than actual. At this point I messaged my ex and asked if she's sure she doesn't want to settle. She didn't, so I decided to go with some malicious compliance and didn't try again. After we both calculated every income and expense of both parties with the help of our lawyers, I, and my lawyer, confirmed that she had enough money to raise our kid. Not only that, it turned out she actually had more money than me for it, monthly income minus living costs, medicine etc. etc. I burst out laughing at the absurdity of her case, even more so when she tried to twist things to her favor by sending false evidence to us, and the judge, which we noticed instantly. A couple days go by, and my lawyer calls me. She had gotten a call from my ex's lawyer, saying he had noticed my ex is lying and the whole case is based on lies, and the lawyer wants to settle. It looked like my MC wouldn't go through, until my lawyer got a message that for some reason, they won't settle after all. Game on. We went to court. The judge was annoyed but composed. He asked my ex's lawyer about their demands. The lawyer started by saying, "First I'm going to tell a bit of the backstory," and the judge cut him off, telling him to just state the demands. After a few seconds of silence, the lawyer told the judge, "No demands." The judge was both dumbfounded and livid, asking, "Then why are we here?" To which my lawyer said something along the lines of, "That's what we're asking too." Then the judge asked my ex's lawyer, "To be clear, didn't you want to settle?" And the lawyer sheepishly told the judge that my ex wouldn't agree to settle. They were so embarrassed, it was so glorious, like some kind of divine karma being served right at my Karen of an ex. The judge ordered us to go to a meeting room for 20 minutes and to come back with a settlement agreement. Because she had more money, we negotiated that she would pay for our kids' hobbies, insurance etc. to compensate for the difference. The judge verified it, and my party left the courtroom very happy. My ex, on the other hand, was balancing between being angry and embarrassed. A couple weeks ago my ex demanded that we would make changes to the schedule on how our kid would swap homes. I declined, saying we have an agreement. She threatened to sue me, to which I just reminded her about the last time she wanted to get what she wants by suing me, asking if she really wants to do it again. She got mad, and I just ignored it. About a week ago she sent me a message saying that she had a fight with her husband, police were called because she attacked him and she wanted a divorce. The police had to inform Child Protective Services, since there were kids present, mine included. Basically her whole life has gone down the drain, 2 kids to different fathers, 2 divorces before she has even turned 30, a lot of debt and expenses, and looks like our kid will be spending the majority of her time at my place, which is what our kid has wanted for the past 2-ish years.